working together in synergy.
To discuss further on this matter, I have joining me a security expert, Inko-Taria, Ipalibo, and Adeola Agbelemoge, who is a mental health first aider. Thank you very much for joining us on TVC News at 1. Let me begin with you, the security expert. There's an increase in the spate of kidnapping in schools, and this is despite the Safe School initiative of the federal government, which different states have adopted. What is responsible for this?
Well, two obvious reasons for the surge in the abduction of school children. One, the age bracket and the volume of pupils clustered per time at the school makes them a soft target. And this is because several hostages could be kidnapped from one particular school with little or no resistance. And this brings me to the second reason, the huge payment of ransom. It is common knowledge that the more hostages, the more ransom. So unfortunately, kidnapping has become a very lucrative business in Nigeria, and in attempting to maximize the business, the bandits have decided to attack soft targets and get quite a number of hostages.
Well, let's now go to the mental health first aider. In this case, let's talk to us about the psychological trauma that these children might have gone through in the hands of your captivities and how the community can actually be of help for them to come out of this.
Okay, thank you. Now, because kidnapping is a severe disruption from their normal life, we see that some of these children begin to experience reactions like intense fear, right? They begin to have that fear that this event might occur again. We find that some of them might begin to self-isolate. That means they are withdrawing from the society, from friends, from family, as a result of what has happened to them. We find that they might also become overly cautious of their environment. That means they feel like nowhere is safe, right? If I can't be taken away from an environment and a place that I've considered safe, right? When they come back, they find it difficult to properly integrate into that same place that they've been taken away from. And sometimes you find that they begin to relive the events that have happened to them, especially when some negative impact has happened to them whilst they were held hostage. You find them reliving that event over and over again. We also see things like disruption in sleep pattern that might come as a result of bad nightmare, bad dreams that they are having. And they might also begin to deal with depression, this intense sadness. And also another thing is they might also feel angry at the society, angry at the community that could not help them, angry at the fact that they have adults in their space and could not prevent such things from happening. So these are some of the experiences that they might be going through. Now let's look at how community can help them. I would say that the help should start from the family level. Family should provide a conducive environment for them, make them know that this is a safe place, and show them love, care, acceptance, and also help them find expression, because there are times that they would want to experience or express what they have experienced. Help them, don't shut them down. Give them the opportunity to express themselves. And if they cannot do it by verbally, they can also do journaling as well, but to ensure that what they have gone through is not bottled in. I'm not saying force them to talk about it, but give them the opportunity, the listening here, when they want to talk about it. Community level, I would say community elders, community guides should avoid every form of stigma. They should not be stigmatized. And I would suggest that at that point, there should be a form of education at community level on how they can help these children integrate back, effectively into the society. I also want to talk about the government level. Government should also provide a form of therapy for these children, because they will be going through a process of healing. Therapy will help them heal. Therapy will give them that safe place where they can express themselves and share what they are going through. So these are some of the things that can be done.
All right, let me get back to Mr. Ipalibo. Earlier, you mentioned that one of the reasons there's an increase in the spate of kidnapping is the huge ransom being paid. In this particular case about the release and rescue of these school children, we're yet to hear anything about whether or not ransom was paid. As a security expert, do you think anything like that would have taken place, considering the stance of the government on the issue of ransom payments?
Well, information available in the public domain is that the military successfully secured the release of 137 hostages early Sunday morning without the payment of ransom. Assuming without conceding that it is true, we should have heard of casualties and several arrests if there was an actual military operation that led to the release of the hostages. So in my opinion, there is more to the release than what has been said. It will be practically impossible for the military to successfully release 137 children without a gun battle, without a fierce resistance. And if there was a resistance, there should have been casualties. And if they were so powerful or so professional in the operation that there was no casualty, we should have heard of arrests being made. And then details of the location being ransacked and being overturned would have been, or at least to deter other bandits from perpetrating the crime. So for now, there is more than what has been made available to the public.
All right, but what do you think can be done to improve the structure of schools? Because sometimes you get to see schools that are really porous, no fence around the school. You just wonder really what the plan is for the safety and security of those children. What steps can be taken by government, organizations, and individuals in making our schools really safe?
Well, the same steps that could have been the school, even if you put perimeter fencing in place, there is no adequate manpower to guard the students while they are schooling. The government should make adequate provision in terms of personnel and security gadgets that will provide security and safety for the pupils while they are at school.
All right, and back to Ms. Agbelemoge. You have spoken about the children who have just been released. Let's talk about other children who are in that community, in that state, even across the country, who might just be thinking about the experiences of these children who have just been released and wondering what is their own fate. I mean, some of them are afraid, they're scared of going to school because they do not know what the next moment could hold. What would be your word to them at this time, to their parents and to the government about making sure that their mental health is safe?
Okay, I will start by saying that for the family, for the parents, right, I think I'd mentioned that before, to ensure that the environment that is being created is safe as much as they can get it done. Because like Mr. Inko said, right, security is something that is a big challenge here, right? So when it comes to mental health of the children, the parents should educate them in terms of safety measures, what to look out for. And I will say that that education should start from home. Look out for anyone that is a stranger coming around you. Report to appropriate authorities if you notice this and this and this is happening. And that also should be the responsibility of the parents, right? Because sometimes when we live in a certain community, we tend to be relaxed about our security. We tend to be relaxed about the people that comes around us. So we must also begin to look out for anything that we see is strange. anyone that is strange, and make it our duty to report to the appropriate society. I would also say that for the children across the nation, they are seeing that their children are being kidnapped and all, right? So for them, they should also know that it is not something. It is not normal. Kidnapping is not normal. It is something that we find ourselves in as a nation. That is very sad. However, this is not supposed to be a norm for them. So they must realize that it is not a norm. So number one, having activities that improve their self-esteem, improves their self-worth, knowing that, there is still a safe place for them out there, regardless of whatever the news is, regardless of whatever is happening, there is still a safe place out there. And I will also reiterate my first point, to ensure that they are also taking the responsibility to be aware of the environment, to be aware of anything strange going on in their environment, and to ensure that they report anything strange or stranger that they observe within their environment and within their community.
All right. Mental health first aider Adeola Agbelemoge and the security expert Inko-Taria Ipalibo, thank you very much for talking to us on TVC News at 1.
Thank you.
You're welcome.